Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Gotta fight the
What is wrong
Taras.
with you?
Yeah. Oh,
We're good.
we've all got roll.
See,
We don't have.
We've all got a roll,
We've all got a
D100.
roll. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
oh! What are the odds?
Come on, Mazzy, it's all on you. If you roll it, no Tarask fight today.
Ben's
Just
got
roll
roll.
one,
Ben's
Ben.
got roll.
Just roll one, Ben, for the sake of it.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. See,
Duh.
what did I tell you?
See,
Look,
See, I was
Oramis
then
is
just
showing
thinking
with your
of,
confidence.
I was then thinking of just the time where in JJ's session when I think he's explained it to you when we were rolling, and JJ said, "Oh, you know what? Fine, yeah, roll me a D100 on 100. You can go back in time and redo that check." And Abby immediately rolled, and she got on a 100. So Abby's character is now a time traveler.
But
It's official.
Not on a regular basis.
No.
Not on a regular basis. No, it's very random, sporadic. One
You're
might
right,
say.
Luke.
I'm seeing how many rolls so I get 100.
I mean, I can tell you what the chances are if you like.
That's probably easier.
Oh, got
One in
98.
100.
I got two 98s in a row.
That's great, Matt.
I know.
not
I'm so proud of myself.
I mean, this
Oh,
is
nice.
really
100
look in the stream because
This is definitely what I came on for. I don't know about you guys. I love numbers.
I got bored waiting until I just started it on this chaos because there was 100 in there.
Ah, wait,
Is
where's it?
No way.
I did it!
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
it!
Glyndon did it.
Oh!
Wait, where? I'm not.
You have to scroll
Did
up
you
a little
literally
bit.
just hit it once?
No,
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, my
hit
God,
a few
good
of them
job.
in a row.
Ben,
Oh,
I'll,
yeah, you did.
I'll do a trade, Ben.
Yeah.
I'll take that as my divination roll. And you get nothing in return apart from me using that later, just be interesting.
The thing is, though, you don't even have to use it on a D100 roll.
No, you can use it on a D20.
Oh,
The only D100 roll people do
All
is you
I'm
talking
saying
to your
is-
god, isn't it?
pretty much.
Pretty
yeah.
sure it is. Although
Ben
all I'm
doing
saying
random
is,
encounters.
even if you use that for a roll, still wouldn't hit Tiamat.
Oh, you're
Just
lying.
saying.
You're lying.
Possible.
Ben,
Not
Ben. Oh, we have started already, but it doesn't matter. Have you seen Eternals yet?
I have not seen Eternals yet, and I really, really want to. I'm going to go this week.
Spoilers.
Your naming of our god is quite apt.
What, Pelor?
No,
Of Tiamat.
not yet.
Oh,
Tiamat.
Tiamat, right.
It's a character. That will say no more because.
Yeah, I'm not going
I'm
to go any further.
I'm
but
assuming
just- it's
she's a
character.
big bad because she's a big bad in literally everything. She's
Not
also
really,
technically,
actually.
she's also technically from Polynesian folklore. That's where Tiamat's from.
Oh, those casual reads on the toilet of Polynesian.
No, because I was looking up Tiamat, and yeah, she's originally from there. Anyway, welcome back to D&D, folks and fellas.
Are we
How's
live?
it going?
Yeah.
We are.
We have
Shout
We've
out
been
to my
live for a while.
Shout out to my goldfish. Shout out to my sister. I know you watching. Carry on, Ben.
Last session was an interesting one, filled with lots of rolling of things to hit. You guys finished off the crones, first Oramis killed Irma, one of the crones who had taken an absolute fucking walloping, and then next came Edna. Now Edna tried to plead for her life and did so rather successfully. She offered to help you guys with anything you need. You asked if there was any weaknesses known to Tiamat, and her obviously being very devout to Tiamat, being a warlock. Tiamat? No, not Tiamat. Lolth. Being a warlock of Lolth, she said that there was maybe something that the Mind Flayers knew about Lolth herself.
Oh, is that what she said?
Or the Illithid, or whatever.
I thought she just said they were in cahoots.
Yeah.
They were. She said they know something.
Oh, well,
That's-
thanks for shoving us towards Elithid's coven, Ben. That's fantastic.
You're welcome. She said they know something, but it's not obviously only they know what they know. moving on from that, Doc got his zombie buddies to then absolutely demolish and eat Edna's face even, killing her and causing a bit of a rift in the party. Obviously, people weren't very happy with Doc creating undead in the first place, Marcool being one of them, Oramis also being another one, and as they went to bed, Doc sending his last two things to the... Oramis sending his last two things to the beach. Oramis went off, killed one of them. You saw a bat flying over, this huge bat with something on its back, flying over the area. It sort of stopped over the island, span around, had a look around, and then flew back the way it came. You don't know whether it saw you or not, but whatever. You also fought a creature called a cloaker that tried to come and sort of fly and kill you. There were two of them, but one of them failed to get Doc and ran away, and the other managed to successfully get Gylndan, but unfortunately wasn't able to finish the job and got absolutely destroyed. Continuing on, the next morning, Marcool made you all a nice little stew, and you went down to the beach, but a bit of a feud happened where Oramis brought up something about Doc's past that he didn't particularly like, causing Doc to whack him in the face with his hammer. Obviously, a bit of a feud there, and you had a bit of a boat ride across the rest of the Glimmering Lake to sort of sit in silence and gather yourselves a little bit.
That fight. Doc
I have
a dwarven surge.
I have undersold
to hit
it
him
quite,
again.
Yeah, I've undersold it quite badly. But yeah, it was a very, very intense moment, earned some of you some inspiration.
Yes.
I didn't feel a thing.
You
But-
backed up on the inspiration now, Luke. You should restart using it.
I will.
Yeah, you really should start
keep
using
thinking
it. Because I'm only letting you have 2 bits of inspiration because of the dedication of dressing up for the in-person session. That is, that's the only reason. But yeah, so you made it. So you obviously rowed across the Glimmering Lake at no particular pace. Marcool and Mazzy taking the oars and going for it over the rest of the lake, and you saw across the other side this quite fancy and elaborate road with these huge sort of twin statues either side of Lolth in many different sort of aspects. There was one where she looked, there were ones where she looked a bit more sort of like a fighter, like a warrior, like a noble swordsman. Another where she looked like an arcanist, like a bit more wizard-like. One where she looked a little bit more like her priests, so very sort of holy and royal. Ones where she looked very angelic. One where she looked very seductive, and different things like that. You decided to go down the beach a little way on your boat, and you're about 250 meters from the road. There is quite a thick mist, or not thick mist, but a mist that lightly obscures your view. I'll put it that way. Sort of around the area, seems to be coming from much further on down this way. But you have managed to sort of park up the boat. You pulled it up over the shore of this fine grey sort of sand. Up on the shore, there are stones, a couple of dead bodies, much like the ones you saw before, sort of drowned Drow and Duragar bodies that have been there for quite a while, it seems, with these particular ones, as well as a couple of sort of these bits of phosphorus glowing fungal mushrooms and things about. Open it up. What would you like to do? Continuing onward, you can go, obviously, off-road, straying away from this road a little bit, or you can go back to the road and try and stick to it and take your chances there. What would you like to do?
Around, you say?
I do say yes.
Start pick up right where we left off then. It's fantastic.
I was sort of joking.
Shut down.
I think we maybe stay off the beaten road a little bit, because there's not like there's a load of wilderness is the wrong word, but it's not like there's a lot of places we could get lost in. Like it's a tunnel that goes the same way, so I think we just want to keep away from the main path.
Yeah, obviously looking in towards this main path, it's very similar to the previous one where there is lots of sort of... It's very, very uneven. This is very uneven and quite rough terrain. And obviously this road has been carved out of this and made quite nice, so obviously there is stuff there. Mazzy is obviously very, very skilled in the Underdark. It seems that has his favourite terrain, so... that
he's been here before.
Works. He's been in
holiday destination.
That is, that's somewhat in your favour. Yeah, ironically, he knows what's up there.
He really wanted the dark vision, so it's like, if I just stay there long enough, my eyes will get accustomed to the dark.
I just eat little carrots from down here, yeah?
You should try the glowing mushrooms, Mazzy. See what they do for you.
Oh,
I need that magic.
So you're going off road.
I think not mega off road, but so we got the road in view, but we don't want to be like strolling along it because I thought it would be visible.
I don't know whether we want to just stay on it for ease of travel, and if we see something, to duck off it for cover.
And just hope on decent perception checks. I
have pretty solid perception.
I'm not against that. We've rested up as well. I just thought maybe we could avoid. So I don't know what else is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll back us against a lot of stuff, but we could come up against something that might absolutely rip us.
Yeah, it's a bit 6 and 2 3s. It's like, do we want to slog through the difficult terrain, or do we want to just take it easy and get further on the road?
I know I just said we should go off road, but I've just thought that looking at the map, this does not look like a main route. So I think we might be alright on the path because I don't think there'll be loads of people here.
That's all.
Yeah, it kind of also looks like we don't have much leeway. That might be getting quite narrow.
I mean, certainly this bit where we are, maybe sort of around here, when we're heading towards the forge, like that might be more travelled. The bit between Vogdorum and Dundurum Forge might be more travelled, and we might have to be a bit more careful there. But I think certainly where we are at the moment, we can afford to be out in the open a little bit more. Also
to note, you did realise that this road clearly hadn't been taken care of in a little while. Whether that helps your decision at all. The stairs that led down very ominously into the lake, hi Lucy, were like chipping away and cracked, and many of the tiles were pretty ruined. On some of these statues you could see like cobwebs and spider webs sort of like underneath the arms and things, and one of these statues particularly had I think I said like its right arm had sort of just like fallen off, was crumpled into like a pile on its
this is not
its feet.
Maintained and frequently visited thing.
As far as you know, yeah, at the very, very least it's not very well maintained.
Okay, I think we'll head along it then.
Yeah, along the road.
But just be wary, like ready to make a perception check as soon as we see anything.
Of course. Everyone
checks frequently.
Everyone just make me
a quick dash off and stealth check.
Yeah. Can everyone therefore give me a marching order first and foremost, and then just a general perception check.
Somebody with dark vision maybe just in front of me, because it's not like we're going.
I'll go
in a line.
You can see over my head.
Yeah.
I know can also get as far away from Oramis as possible.
Yeah, I'll be right at the back.
Okay, I'll go third.
Cool. Mark will obviously just slot in behind you.
Yeah,
Mark will slot in behind you, Gylndan. Give a bit of cover to the back, but I don't think Dragonborn have dark vision, so he's gonna chill there with you guys. No, it doesn't. I think dark vision, Dragonborn just don't get dark vision. So whoever is at the front, which it being Mazzy, I would usually it's Doc. Doc, can you make me a perception check? I'll say, because Mazzy's right behind you and able to sort of help, I'll give you advantage on it. 22, nice, yeah. So, congratulations, you did pick the right thing, and it is worthy of note that this place, as you can tell, hasn't been travelled across in a very, very long time. You can very, very easily just sort of make your way along the shore and back up to the road, and looking around, Doc, immediately you don't see anyone In fact, you can see a lot of sort of dust and things sort of laying over the road, not even any footsteps or anything like that. Strange sort of foot marks, but not foot like tracks, but not tracks of anything, almost just like sort of markings where some stubby pincer or something has gone along the floor, and very quickly you notice why. Around you can see sort of along the sides of the roads and things several quite large spiders sort of just watching you as you're going along. They don't come any closer. They make sure to stay their distance. These aren't the giant ones like you've seen. These are maybe they sort of are about as big as sort of up to halfway up your shin, a couple of feet sort of wide. Obviously very, very big compared to a standard spider like we know it, but compared to some of the ones that you fought, not giant. And they sort of sit back. They know their place. They seem to be very, very wary of you, and as you guys sort of turn to look at them, they scutter off. But you do sort of notice that obviously this place, not being travelled by people, has been sort of not taken over, but definitely things have taken advantage of the absence. And you also notice many things have taken advantage of the architecture as well. You look up and you can see these two very, very beautiful statues, which don't really seem to have been touched by much. It's Lolth holding a short sword out into the middle of the road, and obviously this is twinned on the other side, so it makes a very, very beautiful arch. And between this arch and the two sort of armpits of Lolth, you can see this huge, glorious spider web. And just right in the middle of this spider web is this spider just sort of tucked away. This is definitely a big one, but again, it seems to sort of see you guys, realize that it is somewhat alone, and then sort of chitter off over the arm round to sort of the back of the head, and you can see just sort of it looming around the back of the head of one of these statues, just sort of watching as you go. It seems.
Anyone else very second thoughts about this?
Really? Very, very ominous.
I'm just gonna get a little bit closer to the rest of the group.
I'm angry at Doc, but I also hate spiders.
I hate spiders more.
Good idea. As you continue on, Doc, you begin to notice that actually, is anyone using a torch or anything like that?
I'd be using a torch because I can't see.
Yeah, so as you're going on, Doc, with the 22 perception, you notice that, sort of looking up at some of these statues, many of the eyes seem to glint a very beautiful purple, like sort of these large gems in the eye sockets. Okay. And they sort of seem to sort of reflect off of the flickering sort of torchlight of Mazzarious, and you can see these, and obviously these statues are huge, so this gem must be like this big, like the size of a person's head. Like they're pretty big, so that's obviously something to know if you wanted to do anything with that information right now, if anyone wanted to try and grab it.
Are these more statues? Like these statues don't have spiders crawling on them, like the ones.
You can make a perception check if you'd like, or you can make another perception check to see if you can. I'll say you pass. The ones you're passing at the minute, it's two where Lolth looks very sort of humble with this sort of long sort of staff, wearing these long sort of beautiful robes.
The gems in the statues? Is that what you're saying?
They are sort of in the eyes of the statues. Okay. 24. You think for a minute, so up the left one that you're looking at, you think for a minute that it's clear. The right one very, very clearly doesn't. You can see spider sort of hanging on the right, and there's webs sort of underneath the arms and things like that. And you think on the left one that there's nothing, right up until you sort of just see something in the shadows, just with your dark vision, just sort of shift, just sort of underneath the folds. So the sort of the stone folds of one of those things. So there is, as far as you can tell, one, especially with a 24 perception, you're fairly sure that there is one that might give you a little bit of trouble where you to try
What's the
and
Tom
climb.
Hardy gif from? Is it from Fury Road?
You must move straight. Aim a little bigger, darling.
No, not that one. It's the one. I think it's the one from Fury Road. Where he's like, nah, that's bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as I want the shiny, I do not want to fight the spiders. So I'm going to carry on.
That's fair, yeah.
That makes sense.
You carry on, and obviously you're traveling along a road. Nothing. These spiders seem to be not converged, or almost like like battle trained. Like a lot of the ones that you fought, not necessarily trained. These are just sort of ample spiders sort of clinging around the area. So they don't really seem to form anything. And a lot of them are sort of, in it for themselves. So they don't seem to form any kind of resistance against you. And they sort of watch and sort of hide away as you're going by, especially with this quite bright torchlight, something that they're very clearly not used to.
I just say
and they try and
I think
hide from.
Up the pace just a fraction. I know we're getting fast anyway, but perhaps.
Yeah.
Gladly.
Not to show worry.
And with that, nothing seems to come your way, nothing seems to get aggressive towards you, and you're able to very quickly make it another hex. And as you turn around this corner, you can see, way off in the distance, a rather large sort of... It's almost like the cave looks to be coming to a close, except for this one very bright white crack straight down the middle. From here, you can guess that it's maybe about 60 feet wide, compared to the fact that this cave is like 1.5 miles wide. At its sort of widest, 60 feet is very, very thin, but it is filled with this very, very bright white sort of dim light that seems to coming from, and this white fog as well, sort of pours out of the sides. As the closer you get to this place, the less spiders you seem to see, and as you travel sort of nearer to the end of this hex, and this thing is more in view, you don't really see any webs or anything anymore. Whatever this is in here is clearly trying to stay away from this area. It seems to be filled with, like I said, this sort of purplish white fog, and it seems to ooze out of the crack, and that's what's forming this mist, this sort of light obscurity around the area. And as you look a little closer and you're watching, there are these bright blue, purple and sort of green lights that seem to flash inside, as if there is a quite hefty storm sort of brewing inside, but there's no sound, there's no thunder. There's just these flashes and these streaks of light coming from within the fog. But that's it. Obviously from the map as well, this looks like it probably goes on for about 1 mile, this thing. And I'll put you sort of like here.
Like a narrow path that has a bunch of fog in it, basically, that looks like it has some sort of storm going on. Okay.
Yeah. It looks like this storm, or this very, very thick fog with these sort of bright flashing lights every so often, but it is completely silent, eerily silent as well.
Can I do like an Arcana check on it or something?
Yeah, of
I've
course.
seen before. It looks a bit magical.
Can I try and aid
Yeah, of
him?
course. Of course.
We both stood there like this.
Yes.
Looks
What do you think,
magic,
Dokrumir?
Gylndan, what do you think?
I think it does also look magical. And perhaps a bit
Yeah,
more, Ben,
so-
please tell me.
So, this definitely looks obviously unnatural to you, and you've never seen anything quite like it, but with the flashes and effects, this almost looks very similar. So you've heard of, obviously, sorcerers that seems to have this sort of wild, untempered magic within themselves. And you've seen, and you know that on the occasion these sorcerers can, with this sort of wild magic within themselves, cause quite drastic things to happen. And these flashes of light almost remind you of that. You remember when you were younger, you actually saw one of these sorcerers in in action. They came to visit, obviously supervised, to the college, and it reminds you, these sort of streaks of light almost remind you of this very, very wild sort of magical surge. What the magic is, you've no idea. Just as far as you can see is bright lights. That could mean anything, but you can definitely tell there is something magical and something strange going on within. It is definitely magical, and there will be a wild, potentially with the randomness of the lights, very random aspect to it. But obviously, this is a whole new realm and territory for you guys. So, whatever that means is hard to tell.
I'm going to say I think we might need to be very careful going through here. I think we might need to maybe be tied to each other or something.
Can I pick up a rock from the ground and just sort of toss it about sort of 20 feet through where this fog seems to see what happens?
Yeah. So you pick up a rock, you throw it, and to note, after about 10 feet in this fog, completely disappears. You have no idea where the fuck this thing's gone.
That thick.
It is that thick. It is crazy thick. And yes, like after like 10 feet, it just disappears. You just hear like the very, very subtle echo of is it rolling along the ground?
Yeah.
I mean,
tied together.
But that's about it.
Just because we could hold hands or whatever, but I just don't think we'll lose each other. Whereas the rope is a bit different.
I could cast Gust of Wind, but that's a concentration spell for up to a minute, so it won't get us nearly even all the it won't get us very far in. But at least
depending on how quickly you were, moving through it, that could get you, I don't know, maybe a couple of 100 meters.
I mean, if we sprinted,
if you ran,
I mean, we've got, obviously you can move faster, but we've got 60 feet around. That's sprinting, but we'll get knackered. Sprinting more than a little bit.
Does it go all the way to the top then? Does it fill this gap?
It literally fills it all the way to the top. And these lights are very sporadic throughout it, all the way up. And it's as you're sort of looking at this thing, let me just... Oh, okay.
Here come the spiders.
It's as you're looking at this this thing, and you're wondering and you're watching, you hear the sound of something sort of just this arcane sort of whoosh in the air. And from behind you, you just hear this voice, "All right, hands up! Bloody! I say, hands up! Don't you dare turn around, boys! Get your damn hands up!"
Who goes there?
Nobody. Who goes here?
Also nobody.
Well,
I will carry on.
what a coincidence. All right, this is getting real awkward now. Turn around, but I'm watching y'all.
Okay.
Don't pick up no weapons.
Can I turn around with a prep to toll the dead, please?
Of course.
Assuming he's within 60 feet.
Yeah, he is. You all turn around, and standing there with a sort of set of very basic leather sort of armor, very, very tattered, very, very old, and these long sort of mucky, tattered and torn robes. Under these robes is what looks to be a dwarf. In fact, not any dwarf, a Durgar. He stands there, sort of bald head, quite thick beard, clearly unkempt. And what's interesting is he stands there and he's sort of waving his hands, and around him, this blade, just over the corner, this blade made of pure sort of magical force, just hovers and hums and vibrates very, very, very sort of carefully. It's almost sort of like the size of a short sword. And it's sort of there, just sort of vibrating, and he's sort of controlling. He's like, "All right now, all y'all, state your business. Who are Yo, surface folk? Hell y'all doing down here?
On a little adventure.
Adventure? Ain't seen no adventurers down here in a long time.
Good sir, if you mean us no harm, then we mean you no harm.
Well, that depends is all. You seen y'all seen a group of them illithid types around here recently?
No.
Any other folk like me do regard and anything such as that?
No.
Interesting. They must have passed through already. Shit.
We bumped into some crab folk if you're after them.
Ah, fuck no, I ain't going anywhere near them. Hope we goddamn killed them, them vengeful motherfuckers. They'll come after you, they'll travel the end of the goddamn caverns for you lot.
We know. We know.
Well. Alright, alright, y'all can put your hands down. Seem all. This is ridiculous. Hello, I might as well introduce myself. My name's Hercule, and he sort of lowers his hood. For which you couldn't really see much, and as he lowers his hood, you can see on his face, there's nothing particularly different about this guy. Hercule, so Hurkyl.
Hey.
And as you're looking at this guy, he seems sort of like your average Duergar. Nothing particularly different about him, other than the fact that he has this glowing sort of orange mark just on the side of his face, almost in like this cross, just on the side of his cheek. It seems to have scarred and bruised just around the side of his face, and it's very, it's clearly not fresh, but somehow still glowing as if it's burning, which is a little weird. But he's sort of...
Breathe in, Oramis.
That sounds a lot like somebody else's facial scarring that we...
Hey, look, leave Doc alone, for fuck's sake.
I'm saying this is out of character, I'm just saying that to you. Just saying. Just saying.
Alright, well, who might y'all be? Why decide to adventure down here? Place is hardly the place for surface folk down here.
Yeah. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Professor Gylndan Althor, and this is my exhibition.
Pants.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Lolth, honestly, and I just cannot get enough of Lolth. And
again, this sort of arcane. He seems to sort of twist his fingers, and this arcane thing seems to hum. Sort of again. Y'all fans of Lolth around here?
Well,
can I cast
my role
Charm
as a
Person?
Professor.
You cast Charm Person?
He seems to be getting a little bit wavy, so I want to just...
Alright, put Charm Person in the chat, and obviously he's going to make I think it's a whiz save. You attempt to charm a humanoid you see and must make a wisdom saving throw, does it with advantage. Fails saving throws, charm by you until the spell ends. Charmed creature regards you as friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. Cool. It needs to make a DC. Was it DC 15? Yeah. That's 12. He fails. You can see suddenly, very quickly, sort of he stops, sort of twiddling his fingers and sort of places his hands down the side. Howdy, y'all. So, what do we all seem to be? Like I said, what are we doing down here? Down in these dark caverns.
Hercule, we were just in the process. You were telling us how to get through this sort of fog, if you like.
Oh, was that something? My bad. My head's in a bit of a twist today. This here cavern, I got absolutely no idea. I'm gonna be very honest with you. we Duragar seem to we Duragar have a lot of stories about this here cabin. It's it's not a nice place to be. We seem to have a lot of stories of men going in and coming back not as they were, very like they gone mad. People seeing things, messing with their brains, messing with their minds. Very strange.
Men recover. Oh, cool.
Some of them, yeah, with the help of a lot of treatment and things like that. But I mean, a lot of them don't even make it out. Mess with the mind too much and get lost in the fog, And there are stories, something in there messing with their minds, People saying that they seen shit and seen things they don't want to be seen. Crazy.
How did you get here? Then,
How did I get here?
If you didn't come through the fog.
Well, that there lake.
Yeah.
Well, I had a boat. I say, me and my acquaintance, that I was maybe, did I mention them? I didn't mention them. Well, get to that in a moment. Me and my acquaintance, here, we had a boat parked way down at the bottom of the shore. We had just came from near enough the city of outsiders. We were looking to be heading this way, and unfortunately, we had a bit of a run-in with some of them mind flayers and creepy fuckers with tentacles. They unfortunately took my friend, and I know, it's so sad. I was able to hide, fortunately, but my friend wasn't. He unfortunately left. And here I am. I'm left. Them mind flayers, they got real strong brains, real strong, able to see through them illusions and mind fuckeries and shit like that. So they were able to just walk on through. I'm hoping my friend's okay. Yeah, that's how I got here. How'd y'all get down here? Did y'all come across the lake as well?
On this side of the lake?
They were on this side. Yeah, it seems that they could just walk in and out of this goddamn thing. Whatever's in there don't affect their minds. They can see through illusions. They got real strong brains. I mean, their leader is literally a brain.
I think
like literally.
My friend meant, were they on this side of the lake?
Oh right, they were. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they were on this side of the. They were on this side of the lake. They're on this side of this here cavern. We were just sort of milling around here. I don't. Maybe someone tipped them off that we were heading this way. I don't know.
Are you unfriendly with the Illithids then?
Everybody's got them unfriendly with the Illithids. They just eat brains, sir. They eat your brains, and that is it. That is their entire thing. It's the mind flayers, flayers of the mind. It's literally in the name. By the way, don't call them mind flayers. They don't like that name. They prefer a Illithid. But yeah, I mean the Drow seem to like him, and well, we Duragar have our ways with them. I'll put it that way.
Now.
Well, not like that, you dirty bastard. I mean like. Well,
Hercule.
Yeah.
I'll save you some effort here. You don't have to answer that. My friend, he's just fucking with you.
See, right, okay.
Hercule,
Well,
as it stands, Hercule, we're also not huge fans of mind flayers either.
oh shit.
So perhaps we could help each other out there.
Maybe we can. That might be rather interesting.
Mighty fan, I'd say. Mighty fan.
Y'all trying to impersonate my accent, boy?
No.
You surface dweller, you goddamn.
So
weird accent.
How do you rate our chances of going back and having to potentially pass these mind flayers, or risk going through the fog?
Well, I'm going after my friend.
You
So I'm gonna risk the fog. they took him. You see, they took him hostage. Oh jeez. If y'all wanted to go the other way, I completely understand. This is a crazy situation. And as he sort of looks up, almost like on cue, a lot of these sort of lights seem to flash at the same time. This shit's crazy. But maybe I can make a deal with y'all. Maybe we could work something out. You see, I think y'all are good people. I think I can call us friends. Okay, and so how's about? Okay, how's about you help me through this here fog, and you help me find my friend, and I can give you this. And he sort of pulls his. He has this small little pouch on his side. He sort of pulls open the button and reaches his hand in. He's like, "Oh, I swear I had it somewhere." And then he reaches his wrist in, and then his full elbow, and then his full arm into this tiny little pouch. Seems to be very, very similar to your bag of holding, but a much smaller version, obviously. And he's reaching around. He's like, gotcha! And he pulls out this thing, and is this small bag that whatever's in it clearly weighs quite a lot. I'll give you these. Inside here, because I think y'all are good people. Inside here are 250. For you surface folk, I'll use your currency. 250 gold worth of fancy little gems in here. They're quite pretty if you look at them. And he sort of shows them to you. They're these beautiful purplish blue gems. Each of them sort of different shapes. Most of them are, I don't know, maybe sort of like that big. Not very big, but there's quite a lot of them in this decent sized bag. You help me find my friend. I give you this. Maybe we can work something out.
Can we just have a moment to discuss it as business associates? Can we have some privacy? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, sure. Tell you what, I'll just be over here. I'll give y'all your privacy. Don't worry. It's all right. And he sort of shuffles on over, sits down in the other thing, and just sort of starts counting these gems, making sure that they're all there and things like that.
I'm just gonna. I was gonna say, well, I'm also helping. You guys decide. I'm gonna have a chat with him, and I'm gonna go over and start having a chat to him about his glowing face brand thing.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, if we go with the sort of main group, what does everyone want to? What's everyone thinking of doing?
I don't think we can help him because the only reason he's not murdered us is because Oramis has charmed him.
It lasts for an hour though.
Yeah, we're not going to get his friend back in an hour.
Well, what we can deal with that.
From what we've found out, it sounds like would be on our side anyway.
Yeah, he's a fairly chilled guy. I think he's just,
that was my first issue. The second issue being, and I don't know a lot about Elithids, but they sound pretty fucking gnarly to fight.
Disgusting.
We wouldn't be doing it for the gold, really. We'd be doing it more for the.
I mean,
gesture.
We could ask that he helps us on our quest if we help. I
don't know if he'd help us on our quest, but as we discussed earlier, the Elithids seem to know something about Lolth, and I think it's. I don't know for definite, but I'm sort of catching the vibe that it's like a hive mind kind of thing. So if we got one, we might be able to find out from that.
So do you want to try and
work it?
I think I basically just talked myself into doing it. Yeah, okay. For it.
Cool.
Extremely dangerous, I think, though. So as long as we don't take it lightly, we can help this guy.
All I'm saying is at some point, maybe before we get into a fight, it would be an excellent idea to have a short rest. If we can squeeze it in.
Uses one spell slot. Short rest.
Yeah,
Was that for the...
That's 50% of his spells.
Well, I wasted one because I was sulking with Doc as well, so I only have no spell slots.
Was that for the Misty Step that you absolutely had no reason to do whatsoever? It didn't even.
No, it was for the drama. It was for the drama because I was just wanted, you know.
I don't want to lecture you on drama, Oramis, because we all know you're a drama queen. But I feel like if you'd walked away slowly, that'd have been much better than just puffing.
Oramis is a big puff.
Oh well. What a character reveal! He doesn't actually like his wife, and Captain Hallahan did him a favour.
How rude.
Anyway, moving on to Doc. Doc, you go over. This guy is sort of sat by this. It's actually not sat by. He's sat by one of the rocks just on the side of the road. As you guys were all sort of having this discussion, just perched himself on one. What would you like to ask him? He sees you coming up. Oh, hey there, friend.
I'm gonna kind of come straight out and it's like, notice we've got a little bit of a similarity. Tell me about yours. I'll tell you about mine.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Y'all not gonna be popular, and y'all not just a dwarf. Y'all one of them exiled dwarf. I mean, Duergar don't like any dwarves other than Duergar. If you catch my drift, it's very simple drift to catch. I know, but then y'all got the scar. Oh yeah. Does it work up there the same as it does down here? You get the scar and you can't go anywhere near the place. No one likes you.
Pretty much.
Shit. Well, there goes my chances of making it up north, although that sunlight really does a bitch for my head. Well, all right, I'll tell you a little tale about mine. I guess. Hope you don't think too ill of me for it. Anyway, my family and my family were not always favored by the leaders and by the war chief of Vogdarul. They don't like my family very much. We were builders, not fighters. It seems. Although I always wanted to be a fighter. I wanted to do that shit. And one day I'm fighting and I get told to do a thing that I felt morally conflicted in doing. So I didn't do it, and I was told off for it. But they were like, you know what, you got your reasons, fine. Don't give a shit. They did the thing anyway. They just went ahead and did it. And then as we're walking home, it crept up on me. I was unwilling to kill a bunch of baby animals. Basically, we were going on a hunt. We killed the mother. We killed the daddy. There was a bunch of baby animals. They were just scared and in a nest. It was awful, and I refused to kill them. And then the others came and killed the rest of them anyway, except for one. And that one managed to get a whole bunch of them. And they came after our hunting party just as we were finishing things up for the day. And repercussions of my actions, basically. So I got this your brand. Because I was apparently a coward. It's called having morals, but the word moral doesn't really exist in Vogdarul, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Feels like
not fun.
Like a permanent forever, or is it more of a like?
Oh yeah, permanent years? Forever. Oh no, permanent.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna say this about Duergar. Y'all a coward in Duergar society. Y'all worse than a murderer. Y'all worse than the assassin of the war chief. Cowards are nothing, and apparently having morals makes me a coward. So there we go. What about you, sir? What I got you your ditty scar here.
Oh, well, I stole a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have had. You know, had all sorts of magic that the surface folk find unsavory, so...
Oh, that necromancy shit. Oh, yeah, I heard you guys don't like that stuff up there. It's a touchy subject, the whole bringing people back to life thing. Yeah, I get you.
You see the one over there with the, like, the beard and, like, the pointy ears
fabulous hair?
Oh, the pointy-eared folk,
yeah. He's got his knickers in a twist at the moment because I did a little. My best friend at the moment.
Well, I don't know. He seems like a very nice guy, very very nice guy, person. But hey, y'all surface folk got your ideals, and I respect that. And I mean, I don't know the first thing about bringing someone back to life is shaking them really hard. I don't fucking know. I can fix a little cut, but I can't do shit to bring someone back to life. Yeah. No, he did not say that. No, he's fine. No, shut up. Sorry.
No problem.
It's all right.
This sword of yours, is it like a sword that's like floating and has this sort of like aura around it, or is it like entirely?
It is entirely made of sort of like force energy. Essentially, it's gone now. He sort of like dissipated it as the he cast Champa. A little bit. You can tell it wasn't a spiritual weapon, but it was essentially like a sort of floating short of, because yours is more spiritual, it's more holy. His was definitely just sort of arcane energy, pure, untempered, and because of the vibrations in it and the things like that, you could tell it wasn't very well managed either. It's clearly got some kind of some kind of arcane power there, or some kind of power there.
Okay.
He's going to stand up and sort of. Well, what y'all gonna decide? Should we go? Should we stay? Or y'all gonna stay? Y'all gonna go?
Well,
what's that?
We'll help you.
Wow, it sounds like we've got to risk this far.
Oh, that's mighty kind of y'all. Y'all too good for your own good. Here, have a couple of gems for yourselves. And he just sort of pours out, and you can all add 5 gold. Essentially, I'm not going to make you change it for gems. You can all add 5 gold as he sort of just pours these into. Y'all very, very nice, very, very nice people. You know, it's rare to meet nice people down in a wet, dark cavern full of darkness.
It's my favourite kind of place to meet people.
Marco just like, can anyone understand this guy's accent?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, you have to keep me filled in. Are we sure Dokrumir he's not with the Durgars? He's not with them.
No, he's
as far as you're aware.
On his own.
All right. Well, keep an eye on him, I guess. But all right, let's go. And you all can start making your way into this fog. Is there any preparation you'd like to do before
hang on,
you head on?
Yeah.
I think definitely want to have some sort of connection, like tether between us. I think.
Okay.
I'm sure I heard someone say short rest earlier. We're doing that now before we go.
No short rest.
You are going to have to get used to the fact that you're not going to have your spell slots.
I'm totally used to it, but if I can squeeze in a short rest, then I'm
also
going
the more
to
rest
try.
you take, the longer it takes to get through here, because we lose an hour for just sitting for Oramis.
It's not just sitting though, is it?
So
it's fun.
Ben, just
conversation.
Sort of like a point of not point of order, but like so we're chasing down a group of Illithids that have this guy's friend. Yeah.
Yes. Essentially. So Illithid have come by. Illithid have come by and taken this guy's friend. He will say that obviously if you make it double time, but they obviously weren't in any rush. They aren't aware anyone's after this guy. They aren't aware that anyone is chasing them. They weren't aware of Hercule's presence when they caught his friend. So, So if you make it double time, you think you can catch him.
Like, as a point of sort of just like while we're walking along, can I ask him what he and just basically get his lowdown on what he knows about the Illithid's sort of powers and like what?
Right.
Basically, I'm asking for meta information in a
non-meta way.
Meta information in a non-meta way. So, all right. So, Illithid. First thing you got to know, they got really strong heads, minds. They got very, very strong minds. They'll see through your arcane stuff, and they are not from here. So they are using your arcane shit on them. It's gonna work, maybe, but they will have advantage against certain things. But yeah, I'm not gonna bother doing it in the accent. Basically, meta information without metering it. Illithid, he will say, have advantage on certain saves. For example, int, whiz, and charisma saves to do with magic. He will be able to tell you that, because trying to manipulate their minds or their form or anything like that, they are really not from this realm, from anything. No one really knows where they're from. They're very alien, therefore he has no idea. They have a very, very powerful mind blast, which can render you stunned. The D&D sort of effect stunned, and deal a lot of psychic damage. And if you're caught by that, they will go up to you and immediately try and eat your brain. And I'm saying this as a DM. If they go up to you and they do their attack to grapple you, and then while grappled they do their attack to eat your brain, and it reduces you to 0, that is it. Your brain has left the building. It has left your head. It is eaten. You are dead.
Sorry, Ben. Is that if they reduce you to 0? You're gone?
If they,
but not if they just attack you.
Yeah. So they need to. It seems that Illithid are not fighters. He'll tell you that much. They don't actively run up to you in combat and start doing fancy shit with the sword. No, they are immobilizers. They don't like, they almost think of themselves too good for fighting. So they'll use their blasts to try and render you stunned or incapacitated. And then they'll run up to you and attack you while you're incapacitated to grapple you. And then from there, they will wrap their tentacles around your head, turn you around, suck your head to their mouth with their teeth, start impounding on your skull, and then with one quick suck out your brain.
Oh, right. It sounds like this guy we're trying to rescue is already dead.
If they've held him alive for that long,
there must be a reason for
that is Illithid's essentially down to a T.
Cool.
They're not necessarily fighters.
That is more information than I was kind of expecting, but that is good.
He seems to know a lot about them. He seems to be very familiar with them. He'll tell you that he's been running from them a while, and he's been on his own for a while, and so has had a lot of time to pick up this information.
Okay, well, all right, let's get some ropes out.
Go get some.
Yeah, let's go. First, we got to make it through this fog.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have probably, unless anyone wants to change, we'll have a similar marching order to before, and we'll try and keep close. But I think if we just tie a rope around everyone's waist, then the idea is you won't lose someone. You'll always have that tether.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Coolio. So the marching order was
given
Doc.
how long this is, do you want to potentially stick Doc next to Hercule? Just an Oramis at the other end, just in case.
Alright, so it goes Doc, Hercule.
What are we going to do? Will he forget Luke? Well, I'm asking Oramis.
When the spell ends, they know they've been charmed.
Okay, so is he? Are we going to have a bit of an issue midway through this?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And so
how long is it?
Him away from Oramis. Well,
we wouldn't know, would we?
You can see on the map.
We wouldn't know.
On the map, as far as the map is concerned, whether that it's accurate or not, you can definitely tell it's at the very least a mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could do it.
We could potentially do it in what's left of the hour.
In under the hour. Oh, that's true. We just started a while, didn't we? Well, I'd say, let's do this quick and get going then.
Right.
Who's tying the knots? Not me.
Oramis, the sailor?
Yeah, do it.
Makes sense.
Cool, yeah. For the sake of brevity, I'll say that, you're able to tie pretty good knots around everybody. Proper sort of like rigging knots, making sure everyone's secure. You're fairly used to this, obviously, on the high seas and the waves and things like that, tying ropes around people to ensure they're not knocked overboard and things like that. It's something you're very familiar with, and you can set off into the unknown, into the darkness. As you step into this mist, it is quite cold. Very, very cold, in fact. As you can literally feel the sort of tendrils of this mist sort of around you. You all sort of stay within about sort of like 10 feet of each other, very, very close, and all around you, every so often, you can just see these lights sort of flashing, like sort of all around. Some of them sort of like sparking, almost like a sort of like beam of light, very, very briefly, and some of them literally just like a brief sort of flash of this light. And every so often as well, this sort of brief sort of breeze blows through the area, a quite warm and fairly comforting breeze as well. Can everyone please, as you're passing through and it gets to around the sort of middle section, well, maybe not middle, you're walking for maybe 10-15 minutes. Can everyone please roll me a d10?
Oh.
Do you want one for my call as well?
Oh.
I want one from everybody.
Okay, so
I'll roll.
from
I
Doc.
will.
On
I'll roll one for Hercule. Right. So, I'm going to go in the marching order of what happens. So, Doc, that first one was from you, yeah?
Yeah, I got a 1.
Cool. You got a 1. So, Doc, can you make me an intelligence saving throw?
Oh no.
I'm not good at these.
That's all right.
not terrible.
17. You're all right. You see, you sort of faintly feel something sort of shudder in your mind almost, but you're able to sort of shake your head like, ugh, what? And nothing's around. So remember that you've passed. Next up was Hercule. He rolled a 3, so he's going to have to roll intelligence saving throw as well. I actually think all of these are intelligence saving throws, so I don't know why I'm constantly looking it up.
What, everyone's D10 roll?
No, not everyone's D10 roll. I don't know what I was on. He rolled a 5. Congratulations, Hercule. So you're walking along, and all of a sudden Hercule's just sort of, he stops. And he just sort of looks down, he's like, and he just starts screaming, falls prone, and is just sort of like this on the ground, sort of covering his head, screaming, as if he's like falling or in some strange sort of pain. He's just sort of flailing around everywhere, curling himself sort of up into a ball frantically, and like these are extremely loud screams that echo throughout the entire cavern. So that will go on for a minute. So after everyone's sort of done their things, we'll see. Next up was Mazzy. So Mazzy, you rolled a 6. Can you also make me an int save?
Yep.
Oh no.
Roll me a D100.
Oh, 100.
Oh no! Sam, you had that D100 earlier, yeah?
Yeah, thanks. I used my D100.
You know what? I will actually let you roll it. I will let you use that D100 if you like.
Oh, no. I want to see this happen.
Okay.
I kind of want to see what
This
everyone's
also sounds
got.
like
Okay.
a terrible idea. He's going to let you use the 100.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
you can have
100, you
100.
die instantly.
Okay.
Maybe like
roll-
lower is better
roll
here.
your-
I don't know.
Roll your
Alright, here we
D100.
go.
I have no idea.
Oh,
Good.
pretty good.
You take 91 psychic
Mazzy.
damage.
Mazzy,
No.
you suddenly feel in your mind and in your body, like your body doesn't change, nothing about you changes as far as anyone else is concerned, but in your mind, and obviously from your mind therefore thinks, therefore your body acts that way, that you are 91 years old.
Oh, no.
That could be worse. Can you imagine if you roll a
100.
Mazzy, your speed is halved.
Yep, that
Your
makes sense.
strength and dexterity scores will go to 10. Remember what they were now, but they're now 10 because you think you're not that strong, therefore you're not.
I think therefore I am.
And you think therefore you are. And I will leave it at that for now. You also have a very difficult time with short-term memory. Mazzy, yeah. Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, and bladder control, and everything control. You all watch as Mazzy suddenly just sort of hunches over just a little bit.
I'm gonna get out my my sword and use it as a walking stick.
You get out your sword, but it's very, very heavy, and you use it with 2 hands.
How much of this
And you all start to
can
watch.
we see, given that we can't see very far?
So I'd say, I mean, I'm assuming you're all huddled together quite close.
I mean, yeah, I suppose Hercule's screaming. So.
Therefore, yeah, Hercule's dropped to the floor screaming. Mazzy is now sort of hunched over and leaning on his sword a lot more than he ever has.
What a shit show this is. We've not made everyone saves.
Unfortunately, this will last until you take a long rest, or or some other magic is potentially used on you. Gylndan, you rolled a 1.
I did.
Can you make me an intelligence saving throw?
Right, I'm a bit nervous about what I've seen, and I've got an 11 in the bank. So with my intelligence, that's 19. So I'm going to
That's 19. So you pass. Again, you feel as though sort of something sort of shifts over your mind, but you manage to shake it off very, very quickly. Markul, what did he roll? He rolled a 5. Yeah, so he needs to make an intelligence save.
Oh, good old -1 on Markul.
12. Roll a D100 for Markul.
Oh,
no. How old is he going to be?
Years old.
Bear in mind, he's in his like late 50s right now. So actually,
He's in his prime.
I feel fantastic.
yeah, Markul sort of suddenly just like he's always got this little bit of a slouch on him, but now sort of raises up. He suddenly has a bit of a spring in his step. He almost like Gylndan, he's behind you, and yet all of a sudden he's got a bit of a spring in his step. He now almost goes to overtake you, but suddenly doesn't. Ooh, sorry there, lad. Really,
Saxon.
didn't mean to do that. Sorry. And he's feeling good. He's feeling fine. Oramis, and you rolled a 9. I believe, yeah. So you actually don't currently have an effect. A 9 is a nothing.
Oh, it's just a different effect. I thought it was like a save.
No.
Oh, that's evil.
So, as you're...
Since we both rolled 1s, Gylndan, I'm really not sure if like 9 and 10 is probably like fine. 1 is probably the worst thing possible.
Yeah.
So, as you're walking across, so as you've seen, Hercule suddenly drops to the floor, screaming. He is crying. He is flailing around.
Big baby.
Mazzy suddenly sort of... and then starts leaning on his sword and everyone sort of backed up against Mazzy as he's suddenly walking very slowly. And then obviously the whole thing is stopped. Stopped in front of him. And Markul suddenly, very, very much the opposite, has a bit of a spring in his step and is moving forward. Hercule's screaming, unless anyone wants to take an action to stop it, he can try and make another save against it. We'll go on for a minute. Is there
anything we can do to try and like shake him out of it or quieten him down?
I mean, yeah. You can try. You can sort of get on your knees and try and shake him out of it if you'd like.
Yes, I don't want to hang around.
Yeah, I want to like try and calm him down, and quiet him down, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he can make another intelligence saving throw. That's a 3. Good job, Hercule. That's not rolling right. He should have a. I mean, he should have a +3, not a +2. But whatever. That's still a nat 1. So yeah, you try and shake him awake, and he's still screaming. He's still petrified and absolutely terrified, and he will unfortunately, sort of, as the minute is going by and the minutes ticking by, eventually the screaming sort of escalates, and then all of a sudden you just sort of what the fuck's going on here? I'm on the ground. I was falling. He's got a little bit of a headache, and he will take. Oh, that's not nice. That is 9 damage. 9 psychic damage. Unfortunately,
I think we need to start moving quickly. I felt something go for me, and it didn't work, but
I didn't feel anything.
Let's go. Let's move.
Yeah, you will continue on moving.
Mazzy is second.
Mazzy is third.
Okay, so is Doc gonna go, and then it'll just sort of tug?
Yeah,
slow
down a bit. That was a bit tight.
Mazzy, we need
I'm not as young as I once was.
What do you mean you're not as young as you once were?
I mean, look at me. Haven't you seen I'm my age?
Also, by the way, Mazzy, as far as you're aware, you're 91, and you have had an entire life worth of memories implanted in your brain.
Oh wow!
You have, as far as you're aware, you have lived 91 years.
Oh, lads, don't worry. I know exactly what happens. I lived it.
Exactly.
I know where to go. We need to go right. I know what's coming up. We'll be all right.
Wait, Mazzy,
we beat Tiamat in the end. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
You just said how old you are. What the fuck are you on about?
My memory's not once what it was. I feel. Oh.
What are you chatting? You look the same.
The same. I probably do look the same. It's just.
How old?
I am 91. You know.
91. What?
I look the same as I was last year when I was 90.
Alright, okay, look, we're in a really difficult situation. Do not give a shit here, alright? Can we get going?
I'm going as fast as I can.
No, you can go faster. I've watched you run across fields towards enemies. Why are you pulling this now? Go! I'm following this back with my staff. Go!
Given that, like, I felt something for me, obviously Hercule's reaction, can I make some sort of check to try and, like, assuming that Mazzy's been affected in some way as well, can I make some sort of check to sort of make a guess as to whether or not I can do something to lift this and get him moving?
Yeah, you can make
again?
either an Arcana.
You can just lift Mazzy.
You can make an Arcana or
my balance isn't
a medicine check. Yeah, an Arcana or a medicine check. Either or. Up to use.
Gylndan, I think something's affecting his mind. Do you know?
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah. Well, he did just say about a lifted circle, didn't he? Does that get JJ advantage? We're chatting about it.
You're chatting about it. Yeah, I'll give you advantage as long as you're.
Oh, Mazzy, I swear to God, this better be a real condition, or I'll beat you.
20. Yeah. So it seems you're looking at Mazzy, and you know there's a lot of enchantment magic around there that can do all sorts of crazy things. I mean, you've seen obviously Oramis charm Hercule. Which is still going on, by the way. Like, that didn't change from this effect. That hasn't gone away. So you can probably assume that, like you said, and like Gylndan was able to deduce, that this cave very clearly has caused something in his mind to just snap, just change. Just something about this cavern has made him truly believe that he is this old. And obviously, to make someone truly believe something like that, it's probably pretty strong. So you're going to have to match it with something, with a spell or something that is pretty strong if you were to get rid of it. Obviously, like most ailments, you're probably able to get rid of it, but you also probably know that it'll probably go away after a little while. Maybe, as far as you're aware.
I don't really have much that's very strong. I've got something low level I can try, Gylndan, but I don't have any sort of magical dispelling effects. I don't know about you.
I don't have anything dispelling, but I could just polymorph him into a faster animal.
Something we can put in our pocket, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
Might a bit of an idea. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Can I polymorph Mazzy?
Do you want me to try something low level first?
Yeah, try that if you.
Okay.
What is it you're going to try?
I'm going to like sort of grab Mazzy by the lapel and just be like, snap out of it. I'm going to smack him across the face. It's like wake, and as I hit him, I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration.
You break my neck doing this.
You cast Lesser Restoration.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Ah, fuck. I was worried about that. Yeah.
While we're talking about this, do you mind if I just take a seat? It's very tiring.
Polymorph this man into a rat or something. Yeah, into a rat.
Yeah, into a rat. Mazzy, you actually, are you just gonna let him polymorph you?
I don't see it coming.
You make a save. You've got to be willing. So before I do it, I'll say, Mazzy, we need to get out of here fast. You're not fast.
Speak up!
Mazzy! Mr. fucking Callahan. Yeah? We're in dire straits. You're not moving very quickly, so I'm going to transform you into something smaller.
This is all going well in my head.
Just accept it.
I trust you. Do what you need.
What's about to happen.
I accept whatever.
Perfect. Polymorph into a rat.
Polymorph him into a rat. Mazzy, you suddenly become this very small rat. Very small rat. And obviously, it looks. This rat looks as young as it'll ever be. A rat in full health, but even still, it's moving with a very slow and painful arthritic vigor. And as you're lifting it, it sort of like bends and sort of moves very sort of croakingly. But Mazzy, you are now a rat.
Okay.
You're also in my pocket.
Okay, with
pocket.
Hercule and everything, we've lost all chance of stealth, so let's get a wriggle on and move a bit quicker.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
We've got... So if
Can I ask whose pocket I'm in?
Mazzy had a rope around him, so now there's just a long
You can go.
Now there is
Mazzy.
there is the loop where Mazzy was.
Cheers.
So that's still there, but obviously that will become
So we're still
taut. So yeah,
tethered, yeah. Okay.
you are still tethered. Yeah.
It's just a bit longer. You go in Oramis's pocket.
Going in Oramis's pocket. Love it. All right.
Might find a lot of gems and gold in this pocket.
Other pocket, mate. Other pocket.
He ain't putting you in the business pocket.
Oramis keep an eye on him so he doesn't eat a hole through the pocket and fall out.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe
I should.
Go on.
I'll just put him on my shoulder. Keep a little eye on him.
Hold on, my strength isn't what it was.
As Tom said, I think we might be like full on pegging it now because stealth is out the window.
Full on pegging it. All right.
As fast as we could go without like exhausting ourselves, because I know if we just sprint round after round after round, then
I was gonna say if you're
a quick jog, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like a quick jog.
We'll set our pace too fast rather than medium.
Everyone just make me a quick athletics check, except for Mazzy, who is a rat and in Oramis's pocket or on his shoulder.
If I'm on his shoulder, I'm definitely
just to sort of see.
If I'm in his pocket, I won't.
He's in the pocket.
Okay.
That was for Hercule.
Oh boy.
Doc 16 more cool.
Oh wow. Yeah. So you guys, Hercule is straggling.
You are legs. Technically actually in the backpack. You're actually being carried.
Yeah, so Hercule's moving a bit slowly, but obviously being pulled along essentially by Doc, and to keep himself on the line. Yeah, you guys are able to get through this area pretty quickly. And as you're moving through, sort of within the 10-foot radius, you don't realize how sort of left and right of this road you're going. Which, bear in mind, this road is still going along through this chasm. It hasn't stopped. It's still tiled in the same way. and it's still cracked in certain places. And every now and again, you can see a couple of a statue sort of set into the side of the very narrow chasm. One of these really, really large statues, not as sort of 3D and graceful. No, these ones are sort of carved into the side of the chasm itself, void of any sort of fungal, this fungus or spider webs or anything like that. And as you're running along, you do also notice a small shrine just by one of these statues. It depicts what you can imagine as Lolth, a very, very beautiful, very seductive-looking woman, sort of with this cup looking up, sort of at the sky. She's got these sort of spiders' legs coming from her back, sort of going like these 8 legs.
Oh, and right out of the fog, then. You
are not yet out of the fog. No, you don't realize sort of. No, it's not finished. You can see about 10 feet away, and you don't quite realize how close to the side of the road you get. Okay. So you just notice this thing just there, and you also notice a couple of bodies next to the shrine, and these bodies each seem to be Duergar. Each one of them holding a javelin or an axe or war pick. And as they're holding it in each other, they have very, very clearly killed each other, these guys. But what's really, really kind of creepy is each and every one of them has a bright, wide smile on their face. They're dead, but they're clearly sort of just on the floor, both hands still sort of like rigor mortis is kicked in, and both hands are still on this war pick, which is in another one's chest, who's just lying there with like a bright smile. Very, very creepy.
So they're quite freshly deceased, or are they kind of?
Some you can. Oh, I don't know. Make me a medicine check. Oh, 21, yeah. So you can they've probably been here. Their skin is becoming a little bit gaunt over their face and their sort of limbs and things like that. And there's some clear sort of muscle deterioration. The blood is very, very dry, especially sort of these pools around them have all dried up. So you're thinking maybe a week or two. So it's been a while. But you're running through the area. And again, you sort of, each and every one of you sort of feel this very, very warm breath sort of blow over near you. And can everyone roll a d10 for me once again, please?
Do I have to?
You have to still, yeah.
Oh, Matt, you got the stats of a rat.
Oh! I'll roll one for...
Oh, that's a 1 again. Jesus Christ.
Herkel. 9. Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, Doc, Oramis, Mazzy, and Herkel. Nothing happens. You guys are so focused on running around. Your minds are way too. Your minds too focused. You're running through.
If I'd rolled that again, would that have been added to my age, or would I have changed age? So if I'd rolled like 90 again, would I be like 180?
I have said for the purposes of this, you can go older, you can't go younger. So your mind. So if you'd have rolled anything above 91, so 91 to 100, you would have gone
that age.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You couldn't roll like a 2 and then become 2 years old, which I was hoping would happen. That would have been very funny. But Gylndan, can you make me an intelligence saving throw? Please.
I can just say it now. This is my best saving throw, and I'm just going to balls this, and I just feel it in my blood.
You never know.
I do know, Ben. I've got a +8, and it's going to be below a 10 this roll. I bet you.
Talk yourself down more often.
Jeez.
Again, sort of you're running through this place, and you feel, and you almost sort of think that you can see some kind of figure in the mist, but then it's sort of like you just shake your head and it washes away, and you can... No, it is not a figure, it's just sort of a tendril of this smoke going by. But Markul will also need to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no!
A 6!
What did he roll for?
Very, very much like Hercule.
Does he join me in retirement?
Markul is sort of, he just stops for a moment, looks down, drops prone, screaming, crying, not like sort of holding his head and stuff, just flailing star-shaped, like,
Is he bringing up the rear?
No.
Markul is just behind you. So behind you and in front of Oramis.
So all of a sudden we're like dragging dead weight, basically.
Yeah, very all of a sudden you just feel something just tug. Oramis, you can just see Markul just drop prone, screaming. What do you do?
Can I try and take the bottom of it?
Yeah, can you make me another intelligence save on behalf of Markul? I'll say this is within like 10-15 seconds of him sort of dropping and screaming.
Oh, yes.
17. He is very, so he's screaming, he's crying, but then he sort of, you manage to shake him out of it, like, Markul. He's like, what? Oh, I bloody hate this cave, let's get out of here, I thought I was bloody falling. My God. Shuffles to his feet very, very quickly and pulls out his flail and sort of like has it ready in hand. He's not enjoying this whatsoever. And for everyone that passed on this second time, can you all make me a perception check? So that's not Markul. And Oramis, because you were the one that was going to help out Markul, I'll say not you. So that's Doc, that's Gylndan,
I might detect it from the pocket.
Mazzy as a rat.
Wait, does the perception check have anything to do with smell?
Does
Does
it have anything to do with smell?
Because he gets advantage.
No. No. So can you just? It's just a D20 roll. It's just a D20
just
roll.
D20.
Yeah. Just a D20 roll for you. To see if you can see anything. But obviously, if you do see something.
I know what's happening, but I can't even see what's happening, but I know.
Worried about Markul as well as Oramis. And Mazzy's like that and just sees everything.
Mazzy's currently in a living hell because he cannot communicate with us.
So all of you guys are all so focused on sort of Markul making sure he's up. None of you really notice anything. But Mazzy, you're sort of there, and I won't obviously tell you what direction, but Mazzy very suddenly just sort of looks around, eyes go beady wide, sniffing it.
Can I look out of the
fluttering everywhere? I'm saying for the purpose of this, you're looking out of the pocket to even be able to see the thing. Yeah. Potentially there. So, yeah. What would you like to do, Mazzy?
I don't know what I've seen.
Are you speaking loudly?
You're looking out, and obviously you're a rat, so you are fucking tiny.
Do you want to message me this so the others don't know? Or is it okay to?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I will message you just for the fun.
I just hate the idea that he's looking at like some squid thing that's about to kill all of us. He's a fucking rat.
Does the spell end if you die? I'm guessing it does.
Yeah.
Doing.
Wait, is the caster? Does Mazzy get left as a rat when you're dead?
On True Polymorph he does, but not on this one.
It depends on the nature of the spell, because a concentration spell would end. But a spell that you cast that just had a set time limit would probably carry on until the time limit. For example, like there's a spell called Alarm, which lasts for 8 hours. Which if you cast and then died, would probably just dissipate after 8 hours, would be my guess.
Right.
But, yeah, but Polymorph is concentration, so it'd be like...
But I get True Polymorph, Luke. If a creature spends an hour in that form, it stays in that form. So if you piss me off, I will turn you into a rat. Stay that way.
I don't know, Mazzy. What would you like?
Yeah, that's my thing.
Imagine you're a rat.
Yeah.
You've seen what you've seen.
Yeah.
How do you react? Obviously, think of how a rat acts.
But I'm gonna.
You can like squeak.
squeak. I can climb because
Yeah,
I have.
but remember,
claws.
you're
I
also
can-
you're on 91,
Oh yeah.
so it'd be very difficult climbing.
Oh no.
This creature that we're fighting in the fog, is its purpose to beat us or embarrass us? Because it's definitely doing the latter.
Also, he's
well,
a 91-year-old
I'm definitely
rat,
gonna
so
be
imagine after
screeching.
some time, Oramis has got a damp pocket.
Just a couple of little droplets.
Ooh, chocolate drops.
Chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
well, I'm gonna sort of try and sort of headbutt or punch Oramis's leg to get his attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so he looks down at his pocket, and if he looks at me, I'm gonna point to the sky or point to the direction of where the wind, yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay, Oramis, just make me a quick perception check. Obviously, you've been trying to help out Markul during this time.
Yeah. No worries,
You're
guys.
you are a bit preoccupied.
Perception.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so you can feel just sort of on your side in your pocket.
I apologise for
Mazzy
that.
essentially
I'm also
sort of
squeaking loudly
poking
to get his
you.
attention. Like,
Yeah. You can hear the squeaking, you can feel the sort of poking and thing, and you look up, and you can see him pointing at something, and you look sort of back up, and there's nothing anymore.
Oh no.
There's you're looking down at him, he's pointing ahead of you, but you don't see anything.
I'm going to keep on squeaking and keep on pointing.
Guys, I think Mazzy's trying to tell us something, but he's having a little bit of a fit. I don't know if that's to do with his condition or if there's something going on. But
I'm having a stroke. I'm old.
Oh God.
I mean, I've done what I can. I mean, I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
you've pretty much done what you can as a rat.
I've told the group, but that's all I would do. I just said Mazzy's having a bit of a.
Yeah. Are you all continuing
Can they
on?
all see
or
what
are
I'm
you-
trying to do?
Perfect.
We just got to keep going.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
gotta keep going.
he's still
No.
conscious, but he might just be hungry. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
you,
sure we can. I'm sure we can feed him when we get out of this place.
Going back to
well,
the platform.
is this a case
You,
of? Is this a case of like Mazzy saw a thing, tried to direct Oramis to the thing, and then the thing is gone, or Mazzy can see a thing and Oramis, even though he's directed in the right direction, cannot?
No.
you are unsure, but he
Well, it's like if
clearly
if-
is
if the
pointing
thing-
in a direction.
If the thing
ahead of
was
you.
gone, would Mazzy then like stop squeaking if it disappeared? Is kind of my point. Like if Mazzy saw a
What,
thing, started squeaking, and then the thing disappeared, would he stop?
Well, that's a good question, Mazzy. Would you stop or would you just keep squeaking?
If the
I think you said
danger,
you just
if I
kept
cannot sense the
squeaking.
danger anymore or see the danger, I would stop.
Okay.
It's dangerous, Matt. Thank you for that hint.
Okay. So yeah, so you've been poking and prodding, but then very suddenly stopped. And Oramis, this is when you
Okay.
sort of look up and you don't see anything.
Would
Just
I
as he
have
sort of
been able to
stopped.
see where the thing went?
Yes.
Okay, then
I'll
keep my eye on that direction.
Please, can we get out of this fog?
Yes.
Yeah?
I mean, let's just keep going.
And-
like,
Yeah. I'll say,
whoever's
considering
at the
you're
back,
jogging,
like, pay attention, but
considering you're
That's a good point.
jogging, and you rolled pretty well on athletics checks, I will only ask you to make one more
One more.
D10 roll.
okay.
Sure, it'll be nice here. Not a 1.
Oh,
Oh yes.
But I
Four.
wish to criticise your D&D character, but you've done a lot.
Oh
better.
no. Oh, I've done terribly there.
So,
You might be about to get squished, Mazzy.
it's fine. We'll just turn back.
so we'll go with
In
the,
my pocket.
We'll go with the thing.
In your
So
trousers.
for Another freaking 4. Int save. Dokrumir. Let's go.
Big whammy, big whammy, big whammy, big whammy, big whammy. Ooh.
15. That is the DC. You passed.
Oh, that's high.
Gylndan. A 6. Can you roll me an int save?
Int save. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
So based on last time, I'm going to tell you that this is going to be a dreadful roll. Just an atrocious roll, really.
Terrible. The
It's a
worst
shame,
roll I've
'cause
ever
it's-
seen.
No, I mean,
such
you're
a
not going to see
shit
anyone much
roll.
worse today.
Yeah, it'll just be awful. I've got a +8. It'll be below a 10. It's not far off. That's a fail.
Gylndan. Roll me a D100. Oh, please be a good one. Please, dear God, be. Yes. Gylndan. You believe you are 7 years of age. You are what you were at 7 years of age.
Where are we?
Your strength goes down to 8 from, I think, 11.
I thought it was already 8 anyway, to be
That's
honest.
an improvement, isn't it?
Your speed goes down to 20 feet.
Yeah.
And I did have more for that. You also can't cast spells for the duration. Oh no, you can cast cantrips.
Cantrips. Okay.
Cantrips.
Oh, fuck.
Right. So do I just I'll just sort of slow down as this happens, and
Yeah.
I'll just minor illusion a rocking horse and just stare at it.
You'll just watch as Gylndan minor illusions a rocking horse and just sort of starts pretending he's getting on it.
Oh, jeez.
Congratulations.
I mean, we could die here, but this is hilarious.
Oh, Matty's not a rat anymore, then, is he?
Oh yeah, no, Matt, you're not a rat anymore.
But can you
Oh,
manage
I just burst out.
concentration?
I will say, as a 7-year-old who has
No.
no idea about anything to do with magic, I don't know if anyone else remembers what it was like being 7, but I couldn't maintain concentration on anything,
I was
let
super good at
alone-
maintaining concentration. I was
let
really
alone
focused.
a spell. I was only good at maintaining concentration on Call of Duty World at War. That was it. So,
7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hadn't come out yet.
oh. No, it was COD 3.
It might have.
No,
It
I-
might have done for Ben. He is a year or so younger than us.
That is true. No, it was COD 3 it was. Fantastic game.
Fair enough. So ancient ass Mazzy
So-
explodes out of the
Yeah,
pocket.
so Mazzy,
I've ripped the hole
all
in
of a
Oramis's
sudden,
jeans.
within your pocket,
Trousers.
Oramis just turns back into person. Your pocket rips open,
Oh, my back!
and Mazzy,
Oh.
a very old man, falls out of the pocket, lands sporadically on his feet, but due to him thinking he has arthritis in both knees, just falls.
Oh. Oh, give me a second. Give me a second, lads.
So imagine
Just
this
need to get
was
my strength back.
once more. Fuck.
This is a shit session, but it's also the best session we've ever done.
Why thank you.
Take that how you will.
I
It's only
have
because we
to
rolled so
say,
poorly. If we rolled anywhere between like 20 and like, I don't know, 50, 60.
Yeah.
I have to say,
Nothing
a lot
changes.
more of my things included damage. You can thank Chantel for this one.
Thank you, Chantel.
I have to give her.
That's-
I have to give her that credit.
We're in a bit of bother, and I still think it could have been an awful lot worse than it has been.
Oh! It can get worse. It
Well,
could
this
have
is the
gone
last
worse.
one, hopefully. Unless, well, we'll see. Carry on.
Oh, we're not walking
what
very
it was-
fast now, are we?
No.
Well, now
on a
obviously
rocking horse, another
Mazzy
one.
has turned back into an old man.
I mean, we still haven't
Gylndan,
got
you have
through everyone
turned-
either.
You have turned into a child. Yeah, so we were on Gylndan. Dear God. Okay.
Oh, Marcool's got rolled a 1.
Mazzy, you're fine. Marcool rolled a 1, so can't Marcool make an intelligence
I don't think
save?
I'm fine, Ben. I think I really do have an issue.
Yeah, you do have
Yeah,
a bit
it's
of
in
an
his
issue.
trousers.
Fail. That's a fail.
That is a fail.
Oh,
Marcool, can he
Can't
please
say.
take for me?
1,000 damage.
I mean, at this rate, I prefer damage than what I've got.
Okay. So Markul is sort of looking on. He's seen very brief bits of everything happening, but obviously everything's happening somewhat at the same time. And he's looking on. No, please, I did nothing wrong. And he clutches his stomach. And can Markul please take for me 29 points of psychic damage?
This was a great idea doing this, lads. Well done.
As
sorry, Matthew, I think you're in, this was a great idea doing this.
as he clutches his stomach, falls to the floor,
Sound like a pirate.
and then sort of keeps hold of his stomach and just sort of then realizes that the pain, in fact, wasn't in his stomach at all. There's no bleeding. There's no anything. I thought. Do you see a man walk through another dwarf? He never came through, did he?
No, there's
No.
only 2 dwarves here.
Fucking hell, lads, let's get out of this.
And I'm just gonna start crying because he's quite scary.
I'm just gonna. I'll look after you, little lad. I'll rock you on your horse.
Do you touch me?
I'm rocking the horse.
It's,
a minor
it's not
illusion.
physical.
Okay.
Oh
right,
shit. Okay.
Because he gets close to me, and I'm
Yeah.
terrified. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead as a cantrip reaction to get him away from him, like in my
You
anger.
can't cast spells, surely, or is it just
You can.
concentration?
Yeah.
I've given him cantrips.
Okay.
Oh god.
So, Matt,
they're
if you
sort of
take a damage,
attuned
you
with his
take
mind.
12.
12
Hasn't
damage.
taken damage yet, has it?
Yeah, I
No,
think he's taken
but if he
damage
hasn't,
today.
then he takes a 4. So you're lucky that's
Yeah.
a shit roll.
Yeah.
I'll take 12.
Mazzy, you take 4 necrotic damage as you suddenly. Oh yeah. With save DC 16.
What
Yeah,
my what do my stats change?
Your wisdom so far. Yes. You're
Fuck,
91.
awesome.
Your wisdom is terrible.
Yeah.
Why is wisdom? He's old and wise! Wisdom should be good!
No, he's past it. He's got dementia at this point.
Wow.
You get a -1 on your wisdom rolls.
Oh great.
So
Is he
just
lower as well,
roll a wisdom roll,
So
and
roll
then
17 or higher.
I'll roll a d20 and we just do
Is
-1.
that not surely lower? Or is it not affected the stats that affect that?
what do you mean?
Is it not a lower DC? But I don't know if my
Also,
intelligence
because
changed
your magic obviously comes from within you, regardless of your mind. Obviously, your thing is intelligence, sure, but this has somewhat affected a lot of your mind. But I'll say it hasn't really affected.
You're only mentally 7 rather than physically.
Yeah. So you are technically still the powerful Gylndan Althor, but you think you're 7 and therefore haven't, in your head, gone to the Wizards College to learn things yet. Roll a wisdom save, Matt, but take a -1.
-1, so 6.
Okay, 6. Yeah, you failed,
About 4
unfortunately.
damage. Stranger danger. Don't speak to strangers. That's what my parents told me.
Nice. Yeah. So you suddenly, as a very, very old man, just sort of start barely just hearing this sort of ringing in your ears of these bells. Which I imagine now are actually very, very joyful and quite.
Honestly, I'm not going to hear anything. I've got ringing in my head anyway.
Can I just retcon something? It's not a rocking horse; it's a rocking elephant.
Rocking elephant. I love it.
So that's 12 points, 12 damage for me, yeah?
4.
Yes. 4 points of damage.
Oh, 4. Oh, sorry.
A mere 4.
It's only
And
12 if you've
Oramis.
already taken damage.
No, still haven't finished. Still more.
Oramis. Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
Oramis with a 3. Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
So fucked.
Intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw.
Sure.
For the purposes of brevity, I rolled Hercules and he passed with a 19. But yes, intelligence saving throw, please.
I'm just wondering, for your benefit, if you actually want me to roll intelligence, because I'm obviously super intelligent.
God,
Yeah, you definitely are.
I love this game.
It's like to carry all of us out of here in the big steaming mess that we are.
Oramis, you're walking along And obviously, you've seen Doc. Nothing happened to you, I don't think.
I'm fine.
You've seen Marcool sort of scream and drop to the floor in pain. You've seen Gylndan, minor illusion, a rocking elephant. And very suddenly, you look down, and a crack sort of shatters beneath your feet. The ground opens up. And as far as you're aware, you begin falling. Just falling into complete blackness. And you're falling, like, you think you're falling, but also at the same time, you haven't moved yet. So you haven't actually gone into the blackness yet. You know, you haven't fallen, and you can see your friends up there. But yeah, you are just screaming and crying, and you fall prone. Would anyone like to try and wake?
Can I circle back? Are we enough like movement to circle back and try and snap Oramis out of it?
Yeah, obviously, as long as everyone moves with you, then yeah. Yeah, so you can shake Oramis. Oramis, can you make me another intelligence save to see if you can be shaken awake by Doc as you're screaming, crying. Congratulations!
We just lost Sam.
It's his bedtime. He's only 7. Actually, regardless, it's 20 to 10. But yeah, so you see him. You suddenly realize that actually, no, I'm not falling. And in this weird blur, the ground sort of just dissipates, and you're fine. You take no damage. But you have been on the floor for a solid 20 seconds, just screaming.
So the pride sort of hurt.
Oramis. Jesus. Forget yesterday, or this morning, or whatever. We've got to get out of here. Mazzy thinks he's super old. Gylndan's behaving like a child. Marcool's seeing ghost dwarf. Just help me get them the fuck out of here.
You're right, let's go. Let's get out of here as quick as we can.
Yes, and that's over.
Right. So, you get back up. You continue. You march on.
Like, how you doing? Can you carry Mazzy? Just so we can move.
Yeah.
Quicker.
All right. Oh bloody hell. Yeah. I think I can. Come here, old boy. Grabs you. Lifts you up. Obviously, with Gylndan thinking that he's 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Marcool carrying.
I just tried to touch him and he nearly killed me. Tried to kill me.
I'm gonna try and sort of like as well, like calm Gylndan down. It's like, come with us and we'll get you out of here as soon as possible.
I don't like the fog.
Can I persuade him that there's nothing to be scared of?
Might need to charm him.
What about the big guy carrying the old guy?
He's a big friendly, cuddly teddy bear.
No, he's a dirty
softy.
dragonborn. He's a dirty dragonborn.
No, it's just a costume. He's playing pretend.
No, it's not. You're lying. You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You are lying.
Let me persuade you. Look,
It'll make you feel better, lad. I'll stand back here.
I like your accent.
Thank you.
Fucking hell.
Very. Yeah. I was born with it.
Can we go now?
Come on. Do you want to piggyback?
Can we go now? No, I don't want to piggyback. I'll walk.
Well, then let's move.
Let me walk.
Let's move.
Okay.
Act like a big boy and run that way. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like pirates. They're my favourite stories.
If we get out of this fog quickly, I'll take you on the boat for a little trip.
Okay,
Well,
deal.
This doesn't sound dodgy
Shake
at
on it.
all.
Shake on it. Is this? I'm grown man Gylndan doing all.
You are grown man Gylndan, beard and
Like a
tattoos
7.
and all,
Yeah.
acting like a 7. You are a man with like
To be honest,
18
thankfully
intelligence,
didn't roll
mind like a rock.
Like a 15 or something, then it'd be sucky teenager.
The emo Gylndan,
We've got
using his
baby
friggin'
Gylndan as opposed
staff
to
like a
teenager.
guitar.
Can we go now?
Yeah, you
Keep saying we're gonna go and we don't go.
Yeah, we go I'm out the front, leading everyone.
Yeah, you're at the front. Hercule.
Oh, can we go a bit slower? It still hurts me, even though I'm getting carried. Like, oh.
Oh.
Sorry, lad. I know this is uncomfortable, but it'll be all right. And then very suddenly, Mazzy, you get a terrible, terrible feeling in your stomach. You got to go now.
Oh, Michael, please wait. Give me a bit of privacy. I'll be there in a sec. I'm just going to hobble off to the side.
We're tethered together, man. What are you doing? Can you not hold it?
No. There'll be none of that. It's just coming.
And with all of you tethered together, Mazzy gets down and unfortunately takes the shit. And I realise all pretense of the Underdark being a scary place has suddenly left the building.
Yeah. Well, it's scary how easily we've all been controlled.
Yes. You're able to sort of obviously finish your bowel movement. You get back up, you all head along, and being the only person not wait, Oramis, you're not carrying anyone, are you? You're just sort of running along. So I'll say Oramis and Doc make a perception check.
I was very perceptive back in my day.
Those perception rolls have not let you down the scene.
Actually, Mazzy, also make a perception check.
Oh,
you get a minus.
Should I just do a d20 again? And
I mean, you're not a rat. Just roll a perception check.
Can he do it with
minus-
disadvantage
minus
because he
2.
is shitting? He's mid shit.
Yeah. I'll say with disadvantage, but yeah.
perception. Where is it? There it is.
Ever so slightly preoccupied.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
I'm blind. My hearing's
Roll a
going.
perception check. So, Doc, you are leading the way. You don't care. Your primary focus on getting out of here. And as you're moving along, you can see that the cavern, or you can almost sense the cavern is opening slightly. It is slowly widening. Mazzy, you're an old man. Gylndan, also roll me a perception check, but with disadvantage because you're 7.
Doesn't the 7-year-old believe he knows everything?
I mean, yeah. 9.
So more perceptive than you, old man.
But
future
Oramis,
is now.
as you're sort of running along, sort of taking up the back line, you make a quick sort of look behind you, and through the sort of fog, just as you're coming to near the exit, you see this sort of flick of this very, very large, scaly white tail just sort of whip through the fog and then fly off the other way, like in the opposite direction to you, as if it was sort of looking your way and then turned and just whipped itself sort of in the other direction.
I don't
to
know.
sort
That's
of
a good
flee.
thing. Is it fleeing?
Well, to go in the opposite direction to the way you're running.
I was going to say, because if it was fleeing, that makes a big difference for how I handle this. I'm just going to say there was something massive behind us. Pick up the pace.
Massive.
Something similar to what I seem to remember something like that, but my memory
No time. Give up. Let's go.
What do you mean, massive? What do you mean?
I
I was going to stop. What do you mean?
This is described something I seem to remember in my past, but
I don't like this rope. Get it off. Get it off. And I'm going to try and undo it, Ben.
You're just trying to undo it. Make me a dexterity check.
Can he do a contested dexterity check against mine?
Okay.
No.
I'll say first, Oramis, roll me a sleight of hand check.
Mm-hmm.
Just to sort of see how well you do the ropes. So 14. You got to beat a 14. Gylndan, with
Maybe-
no. You're trying. You are trying. It's like a little kid who can't quite undo his shoelaces. It's really embarrassing.
I mean,
You're actually tightening the knot. Like you're trying to undo it, but you're tightening it.
Over a natural one because I don't really want to run off into the fog.
Yeah, you're trying. You're fumbling, and eventually you just give up. You realize you can't do it. You just got to give up.
Can we go now?
And you'll finally
Going a
run
second
the
ago.
final 100 meters, and eventually the
like the
fog
old
starts
guy.
to thin. You
Oh, my
realise
legs
that
can't
the
do
fog
this.
is getting thinner and thinner, and before you know it, without even realising it, just with the sort of gradient of how thick this fog is becoming, you are now out of the fog, and behind you is just this huge wall of white. These sort of tendrils of mist and smoke flickering out. This fog does seem to have sort of seeped over a little bit of the floor, making the way ahead a little bit misty, but you have moved up another hex. And you're able to sort of take a minute, gather yourselves.
Ah, right, lads. I think I need a rest from that. It's a really long walk. I think it's time for a snack.
Well, seeing how I imagine this isn't a very nice looking place, I'm just gonna sort of see it and start sort of weeping again.
Such a little whingy child, man.
Oh, and you'd be much better as a kid in the Underdark. Sorry, prime raising ground for children. Yeah, I was just gonna sit by a rock.
Underdog, and I turned out fine. What do you mean? Yes, I did. Shut up. Sorry.
Are you quite okay?
I'm just
I'm fine.
I can't see you, by the way. Is this the same for everyone else?
I can see
It's not the same for everyone else.
Okay, and just me then. I'm just going to say I'm going to sit down and instantly fall asleep.
Oh, we're taking a short rest.
91. I'll allow that.
So say short rest.
I need a long rest, man. I need a long rest.
So, but is there any sort of like indication or anything that we'd know that these effects would wear off over time?
I thought we did that check already, didn't we?
Yes, you did a basic check, and obviously a lot of enchantment spells, even higher level ones, will wear off over time, and it does sort of seem like, from your medical profession, your professional opinion, these guys, probably need either, like I said, quite high, somewhat higher level restorative magic, or to just sort of, take a long rest effectively. You roll pretty well, so I'll give you that.
I think we should try and get a little bit away from this fog, and then I think we've got to take a long rest. Fuck. Man, we just walk for literally only 20 minutes, half an hour. As long as I can keep these people going, the 7-year-old that doesn't want to go doesn't want to be here, and the old man who's moving slow as fuck. As long as
Old man sleep.
So
We
we
take-
take a break IRL in a second as well.
Can do. I think we've only got a half an hour, 45, something like that left. But I'm happy to take a break to go for a quick
Just
old
really want
waz. Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, you want to do that? Just a quick
We can do that now. We'll come back and
Haha, I've
stalk
on
some
the road. We'll leave on that bombshell.
back in. Apologies for being late. My parents decided to call at a very inopportune time.
That's cool.
But they're out in Saudi, so
Sorry.
time differences and such.
Alright. Fucking hell.
Right. So getting back into it. Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah,
Are we going?
We're
Cool.
running.
Yep, we're back. Yep, we're back into it. So obviously you've decided to take a long rest. Hercule will highly oppose this idea. He really doesn't like the idea of waiting. Obviously his friend is on the line. By the way, his charm person is probably worn off at this point. Definitely worn off at this point. And though he's really pissed off, he does somewhat understand that he did make a deal, and you guys are helping him. And actually, he didn't mean to be that like evil a guy or anything. But obviously, he hasn't seen anyone down here that hasn't wanted him dead for a while, other than his friend. So
I will sort of
this
say to
is
him, like, as he's like come out, like, I understand what he did was wrong, but the deal still stands. We will help you. We just need to fix our friends because right now, and I'm like trying to like grab Gylndan as he's like right now, just like as I'm sort of trying to hold Gylndan back as he keeps trying to run away. Our wizard is a child for some reason, and our fighter is asleep. That's probably a good thing, to be honest. We just. We need to wait for these to wear off before we'll.
I don't mind. Doc, so let go of me.
Doc, can you make an DC 16 intelligence saving throw? I'll take 11 damage.
I'm gonna have to knock Gylndan out.
Would that work? Would that reduce?
Can you take 11 psychic damage?
Assuming he loses his grip on me as well.
It's 1d4 from the
Can't run away.
target's saving throw. So Gylndan roll either acrobatics or athletics, and Doc do the same.
That's not a saving throw though. So...
and Doc roll. Well, you're technically grappling him, aren't you?
Yeah.
7.
So that's not a saving throw. That's just an athletics check. 10. Unfortunately, he's still
-4.
holding on to you.
-4.
It's not a saving throw.
If I get him in a chokehold and put him to sleep.
Is that what you're gonna choke him out, alright?
choke him out.
I'm just gonna
just to sleep.
As Doc retrieves me.
Wake up! Your grandson is trying to run away.
Nothing wakes me up. I'm out from the camp.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
As Doc holds me, I'm just gonna say, I'd really like a story.
Oh.
Oramis, I know, is a fabulous storyteller. Oramis, tell the one about the Guardians.
What? The pirate?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll listen to the pirate. He's funny.
So as all this is going on, I'm gonna burn some spell slots on some stuff.
You're gonna burn Gylndan? Oh my god.
That's fair.
No, I'm going to.
Mazzy's had his encounter with children.
All of my level 4 spell slots, and I'm going to put up 3 Guardians of Faith around us at like 20-foot intervals to form a big triangle that we can all
form a big triangle. Yeah. Alright. Okay. So obviously,
Pirate man.
you've
Where's
been
my
traveling.
story?
I'll say really quick before we get onto the lovely story. I just want to get something straight. So you were traveling. I'd say it took about an hour to sail from the Glimmering Lake to the shore, and then obviously the rest of the hour to get to. So I'll say about that's 1, 2, 3. It's been about 4 hours since you guys, maybe 5, since you were last awake. So it'd essentially be 3 hours of short rests and then a long rest, because you can only have a certain amount of long rests in D&D per day. Unless you just wanted to spend 8 hours just chilling out, not really doing anything. And I'd say you wouldn't benefit from the effects of a long rest, but you would certainly, stuff might happen.
Well, we need to gain the benefits of a long rest.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
So if we have to just like not take a long rest, but like take 8 hours to just sit and like wait for these effects to dissipate, then that's what we'll do.
All right. So you sit.
About 3 hours in.
That's me trying to punch Oramis to tell me a story.
Many years ago, there was a heroic group of 4 adventurers led by their brave and valiant leader, the captain. There was the healer, the archer, and the mage. And he's asleep. That's all I gotta do.
That's all you had to do. Just list 4 random people.
Yeah. Did I mention that their leader was incredibly handsome as well as valiant and brave?
I'm asleep, mate. Cut that shit out.
Wake up!
So 2 of your party are asleep. The
I want to point out that after 2 hours, I get up and need the toilet again.
I love it. Yeah, you get up, you need the toilet again. Who is taking watch during this time? Markul is fine to do it. Hercule is fine to do it, and Doc is fine to do it. Obviously, and Oramis, obviously. Sam and Gylndan and Mazzy are able to, but obviously one of them is 7 and one of them is 91. Decide on that as you will.
If we're not using this as a long rest and we're literally just waiting out the number of hours required, then I don't need sleep for this time, so I can just stay awake for the entire time.
Yeah. Although, like, obviously, so yeah.
Because we're literally just stopping and waiting, rather than like taking a long rest, as it were.
It is essentially just resting time for the 2 to. So you guys can use hit dice. You can use any effects on short rests.
The damage from this adventure was not physical, Ben. It was scarred deep in the brain.
Yes, you can sit. You sit around for about 8 hours, and I'll say whoever is available. So that's Markul, that's Hercule, that's Oramis, and Doc. Make a perception check, each of you, as well as a D12. So we'll go with Doc. We'll go with Doc first.
I've just realised we're not getting his friend back, are we?
Well, yes, that's what I was saying. He is making very, very strong objections not to stay here for that long.
I will say to him, I understand if you want to go, and I will give him effectively the equivalent of like gold and stuff that he can take back. But we cannot move on like this.
While he's talking to that, I'm going to get up again and go to the toilet again.
Go and fight man flayers on my own. I'll wait for these 2 dumbasses to wake up.
Essentially, your options, yes.
I know where I'm going.
Now or with help in a few hours' time.
As long as we're not, we got to cut this tide, and when they're back up, we need to be moving double time. And I mean double time. I mean, these mind flayers aren't moving too fast, but they're moving 8 hours of walking. Ah, Jesus. All right, I guess I have to stick with you, don't I? All right. And he sits down. He feels a little defeated, but at the same time, he is. He also sort of sit down, and over this time, sort of at the very beginning. Actually, no. I think he'll wait till after everyone's okay. So we'll make Doc perception check and a 3. So during your first during the first hour, nothing seems to happen. You are near this obviously huge sort of wall of fog. You're still within like eyesight of it, so that there isn't a lot of traffic coming this way. Whoever is up next, they can make a perception check and a d12 roll.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And a d12, 11. Again, so you're sat there, also watching out as well as the others. Nothing seems to be awry, although in the distance you do see, just over by the road, a little bit of movement. It seems from a couple of spiders that are sort of moved sort of as a group. Obviously, Doc, your Guardians of the Faith are visible, am I correct?
Yeah.
So they sort of seem to come in your direction, and then very, very quickly skittle and scutter away after realizing what they're really coming up against.
Good.
Anyone? So up next, roll for Markle. 20 perception, very nice. And a 9. So as Markle sat there, and sort of as you're all sat there, Markle sort of taking one angle, sort of looking out, munching on sort of little bits of his rations and things like that, sort of every so often looking over at Mazzy and Gylndan to see if they've, woken up back to themselves. You notice that you sit there and notice that he sort of perks up a little bit, and you can see something in the distance, just sort of over to your left. There is, as he looks over, lads, it's another one of them bloody bat things you said from yesterday. And you can see this very, very large, very, very looming bat sort of fly sort of up and over your area. And this thing can obviously very clearly see these Guardians of Faith stood there waiting, and he's looking at it. He's like, wait, that's not... Someone riding it! That's what was on his back! I think we've been caught, lads. We really can't stay here for much longer. And it very quickly turns around and back the way it came down this very long cavern, towards the sort of left way.
Still during the initial rest before the long rest?
This
Or is this actually the long rest now?
Yeah, this is now the long rest. So we're now sort of into the...
Otherwise we were fucked.
We're split into sort of 4. So we're now sort of into that long rest period.
Okay.
And finally, I'll roll for Hercule. Hercule will roll it's just a wisdom check. For him, 19.
I like his name, by the way, Mr. Fuddlerock.
Thank you. And a 3. Yeah, so again, he's sort of sat there now during the time when most of you are asleep and properly resting, and nothing really comes to mind. He doesn't see anything. He's keeping a very, very beady eye on the area. He does notice, again, a couple of sort of small creatures and swarms of creatures sort of come near, but they very, very quickly back off, obviously, with these Guardians of Faith and things like that. How long did they stay up for, by the way?
8 hours.
8 hours, fucking hell. Yeah, so so these things sort of scuttle up, but obviously, again, seeing these Guardians of Faith, there would probably be a point where maybe a couple of groups of spiders think they can get lucky, and they sort of walk into the area of one of them, and I will roll a save for a swarm of spiders. That's an 8, so I'm assuming that fails, so they'd take 20 damage. It's radiant damage, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yes, they take this 20 radiant damage. You see one of these Guardians of Faith just sort of swing down, smash this sort of a group of spiders, just scatters everywhere with this sort of shining light. And then the rest of them, like, it's now not even a swarm. There's just like 3 or 4 just sort of there. They scuttle off in the sort of thing away. And you're able to wake up sometime later. It's now a very long time later. You can all refill spell slots, refill.
Do Sam and I know that we were an old man and a
Yeah,
child?
that's a good question.
You know something happened.
Long rest off this, man.
I will say, yeah, because you've now been sitting for quite a while. Yeah, you've been sitting for just sort of a little bit longer than a long rest. So I'll say you've yeah.
You changed your stats, haven't you, Ben?
I did change your stats because
Right.
you're an old man. I have a thing of them of what they were. So
Okay.
do not worry. Your
Got a bit concerned there.
your strength was 18. Your dex was 16. Your constitution was 17.
So are we aware of what happened?
I will say that you're aware something happened.
Yeah.
You're not quite because you sort of fell asleep and have now woken up. No, you're not. You're aware something happened and your mind state was changed, but you're not quite aware of what state it was changed to. You also sort of don't really remember much of the past, however long it's been while you were in this condition.
So it sort of feels like a dream.
Yeah. Like you can remember bits. Like Mazzy, you might remember, like very, very briefly being turned into a rat. Like that's quite a big thing.
I do
like
carefully remember some uncomfortable pants.
Yes. And Gylndan, you might remember sort of casting a minor illusion in all this fog of a rocking elephant. But that's about it. Like you don't really remember much else of the time.
Can I just check, Ben? I'm pretty certain I had my armor class was 16, not 13. But it's reset as 13, so I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, that's probably because it went off the dex that was there. I'm pretty sure armor class was 16 as well. Do not worry.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, because I changed your dex, it changed your armor class sort of back, so it's fine.
Thank you.
Cool. So there's now a new day. Hercule will sort of wake up and sit there like, all right, before we get on, I feel like I should tell you, seeing as we're definitely not going to catch these guys on the road. My friend was taken by mind flayers, and they weren't taken back to the Illithid's coven back up the top. They were taken to where they took me, where I found him, where we met in the lair of a quite powerful Illithid. We can get there today. Be the end of the day, but we can get there by the end of the day, and hopefully we should we should be able to get in. But this is less of now of a rescue mission on the road as it is more of a rescue mission from potential imprisonment. Unless anyone knows how to, I don't know, move at like triple speed or something.
Yes. Not in a helpful way though.
Damn. Well, that's
We have this map.
he will point to here, this very
some
deep
way.
sort of section. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can make it there today. You can make it there by the sort of very much later on today. By the time you reach them, anyway. And
Can I put to the group that I've completely respect that we made a deal with this guy, but the circumstances have changed a lot, and attacking a lair sounds very different from attacking a party on a road. That's not me opting out, I'm just saying that we want to do this because it's dangerous.
I understand
It
the
was dangerous
circumstances have
before.
changed, and with it, I can actually offer a little more persuasion. Reaches his hand in again and pulls out another bag of gems, the same size as the one before. So that's another 250 gold pieces.
Where's my guy getting all these gems?
I'll be honest with you, Hercule. not really what we're after in terms of payment.
I know.
Do you have any knowledge of Lolth?
I don't. But I know someone that does.
Is it your friend by any chance?
It is indeed my friend, and I can promise you he can tell you what you need to know.
Let's...
Insight check.
Yeah.
Yeah? He, from what you can gather, he does appreciate sort of the journey that you guys are going on, as much as he clearly doesn't...
Is he bullshitting about his friend just to get
Yeah.
him to go?
Yes, as much as he obviously doesn't seem to like the idea of going after Lolth and things, he does seem fairly truthful that his friend might know something.
Let's hightail it to this place. Get your friend out and get the info we need.
He's an exile like me, like you, Dokrumir. So
These gems you got, are any of them diamonds?
no, unfortunately not. They're special gems from. I can also show you the cavern if you want. It's where we go and
It's fine. It's just,
collect all these gems.
Diamonds can be used for some very particular things. If your friend is potentially not alive, but if you don't have diamonds, then you can't do anything.
Hot damn you and that bloody resurrection.
This is resurrecting as...
Oh, this is not necromancy, resurrection.
I mean, it is technically still necromancy, but you don't come back as undead, you come back as you.
They'll keep them alive. They'll keep them alive, all right. It's a testing facility.
Oh god.
Oh, great.
That's why I'm able to create these. And he sort of flickers his hands again, and another one of these sort of energy, sort of short swords appear. They test the effects of what they call psionics on other creatures of our plane. Psionics being their mind powers. Similar to magic, but it does not go through the weave. It is literally the power of their mind. It's crazy, the shit that they can do with it. It's very powerful. And unfortunately, I was there too. That's where I met them, and they experimented on me and gave me these powers.
Maybe we could use some of their magic for ourselves.
You have to make a deal with a god of trickery.
Oh.
Also, Gylndan, your divination is back.
Ooh. Okay.
We took another long rest. We haven't actually passed another day, so I don't get any.
Actually, no. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not going to use it, so.
Yeah, actually, no. It's not technically yet another day. About halfway through this day is another day, but yeah, that's that.
We're essentially going past there anyway. It was the place we were planning.
We might as well have a look.
We might, yeah, and essentially we can always lower fell total. We can always back out if it looks too much to handle.
That is fair enough. I understand the situation hasn't exactly been what we all wanted. I think we could have caught up to him easy, but things went different ways, and yeah, so that's fair. If you guys decide you want to back up, he's all I got. I'm sure you understand, dwarf. That So I guess no time like the present. Let's get on then.
Double time.
Let's get a move on. And with that, you can pack up your gear. Mazzy, you are feeling much more in controls of your bowels today, and a little quicker on your feet. Gylndan, you are feeling a lot more mature, maybe slightly. I don't know.
Sometimes on a good day.
Sometimes on a good day, and you are able to continue down this path that you're going along. And I'll say again, for the sake of brevity, you're able to make it here. And I think, obviously, it's now nearly 10:30, so we won't really be able to get into anything major right now. So we'll call the session there, ready for Monday, where we'll be travelling towards this rather weird and wonderful place as an Illithid's Coven. Oh, he'll also tell you it is run by a much more powerful Illithid as well, known as an Ulitharid.
Dear.
Sorry, how do you spell that, Ben? Run by a...
Ulitharid. U-L-I... Thurid. Just how it's said. Ulitharid.
Yeah. No me gusta.
Indeed.
No me gusta a lot of stuff that's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't
With that,
don't want to forget into the philosophy of this place, but like, what is anything achieving? Like, at least in the normal world, there's some sort of ecosystem that is achieving some goal. Nothing's achieving anything here. It's literally all destructive.
yeah. Well, obviously, you know, like I said, sort of down here is sort of kill or be killed, I guess. You haven't really gone near any points of society as of yet, so obviously that might have a bit of a thing on it. And most of the roads you've gone by.
Most of society, Ben, has been dead on the paths that we've gone along.
In defense of that, most of the paths you've gone through are not normal paths. Yeah, are not societal paths.
True, yeah.
Or regularly trodden ones. But yes, I do take your point that down here a lot of stuff is very chaotic and very destructive, and seeing as Lolth runs this place, that might be a bit of an insight as to who she is, if we're going to go all GCSE English on it.
Foreshadowing.
Fuck yeah. And yeah. So no, should be fun.
Alright, well, I'll see you boys Monday.
Yes, it's Monday this week, right? So yeah, cool.
Why was it Monday again?
Because
judges.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed a very different session to the past couple of days. Ones we've had.
It was good fun, actually. It was
hilarious.
I almost wish I hadn't saved everything and something had happened, so I could just stop stressing about like trying to look after everyone else. And just be a petulant child.
It was good fun playing. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun playing, seeing you guys play old people, young people, and all sorts of shit.
God, can you imagine if Mark hadn't rolled like decently and he was extremely old or extremely young as well?
Oh dear God.
He lucked out a bit on that, actually, didn't he?
He really did, considering he has -1 intelligence.
But like Matt said, if you think about it in terms of statistics, like the range that we had to hit to just be okay, like anywhere between 15 and 60, and we fell outside of that.
Yeah, and you guys like completely just sort of fell aside, and I'm so happy you did, because that was one of my things. Like Chantal was like, "Oh yeah, why don't you do this?" I was like, "But likelihood is, like, obviously they need to roll that number, and then they have to fail the save, and then they have to roll somewhere very much outside their age range. Because obviously, like, if you rolled a 50, for example, not much changes. I might have said, okay, -1 to your strength and dexterity, not to the overall score, not the ability modifier. But otherwise,
not much changes.
That's it. Yeah. Same if you got like a couple of years younger. So I'm very happy you rolled a 7 and a 91. That was satisfying as hell.
Just the fact that Matt became a rat for a while.
Old rat.
Oh yeah, I need some new trousers.
Yeah, Oramis has got like a massive hole in his pocket.
I definitely need to wash my trousers.
Matt, you went through the ringer that session.
Goddamn ringer, yeah.
So you can take that emotional anger out onto the other kids next session.
Well, we're gonna need it. Otherwise we're in trouble, I think.
We're going to need Mazzy range for sure. Don't get close to them.
Yeah, well, I can keep my distance. Not everyone else can.
Might be coming out. Have to look out.
I think we might do well to let the patients out and help us, perhaps.
Did someone say Eldritch Blast? Pew pew.
I can deal Divine Strike on ranged attacks, so I think the crossbow might be coming out again. And then like.
What was the last time that got used?
Oh, it's also covered in spiders. I genuinely think the last time I might have used that might have been in the Halloween session last year.
Jeez.
When we
Fucking hell.
in sort of the prelude up to when we fought Baphomet, and I shot the guy, the cultist, as he was running away.
Oh god.
That's genuinely might be the last time I used it.
Well, it's like Luke's gun. Like he bought that and then never once used it.
I used it once to scare off those wolves.
Yeah, he used it once, and then he got the more powerful finger guns. Pew pew.
Pew pew.
I like this.
Matt, it's like that that thing from Eternals. If you
yeah, the character.
Trailer.
Hmm?
From the trailer. I think it's in the
Yeah,
trailer.
it's literally
yeah,
ability.
it's
It's
in the
finger
trailer.
guns. Like,
I haven't even seen the trailer. I don't even know what Eternals is. It's come out.
Marvel movie.
Is it? It's come out, and everyone's just like, "Oh, Eternals," and I'm like, "What?" I haven't even.
My problem with it is it seems a bit flimsy on how they've thinged that. I'm sure, like, and don't
Explain
give
it
it away.
well
I'm sure
in the
they
movie.
explain it.
It does make sense because it's kind
Why
of
they
like
never intervened with anything or everything that was happening.
Yeah, simply a one-liner saying they've been told not to. That's it.
Oh.
But it's kind of